What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of MUT Tips. I'm your host, Sean Taylor from the Made Up Theater, and before we jump in, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, and as always, subscribe on YouTube down below to be informed of upcoming videos and live streams. Ring that bell. Now let's jump into today's topic, the importance of specific relationships. A student brought up to me recently that they were in an improv scene with somebody, and it was going really well. They were yes-anding each other strongly, and they had a really good connection. But then they said somebody came into the scene with a totally disconnected offer, and she didn't know what to do. She didn't know, do I yes-and this idea that's just come in, even though it's kind of like breaking down what we've created, or do I deny the third person entering? What do I do? My response is ultimately we need to get on the same page with each other. So if a third person comes in with a totally disconnected idea, it can be kind of weird if we just shun that person and block their idea, even though we might interpret that maybe they blocked our idea. We need to get on the same page with each other, and the easiest way to do that is through a specific relationship. I'll give you an example. Maybe there's a scene between two people and they're playing baseball together, but the scene is very activity or situation based, meaning they don't have a lot of insight into their relationship with each other or the feeling between each other, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can still have a great scene, like maybe they're getting a lot of laughs and it's a really enjoyable scene to watch and to be in. But maybe a third person enters and they come in with the idea of, hello, just want to let you know, we have the launch codes, we are ready to attack the alien mothership. And you might be like, holy crap, we got two totally disconnected situations. How do we make this work? And I'll be honest, that's really hard to make that situation work because it was so previously focused on this activity of baseball, and it almost feels like we have to let it go to get on the same page with this new idea. So this is when it's incredibly important to focus on the specific details of the relationship so that the relationship isn't just defined by the activity. You could take that exact same suggestion of two people playing baseball together, but we can inject some feeling between each other. Like maybe they realize they're siblings and, one of them is upset because the brother is kind of cheating, or the brother's kind of like bullying them around, or maybe like playing too rough with them. And they have kind of like a negative feeling towards each other. And then you can have that third person come in with the exact same idea. They have the launch codes, they're ready to destroy the alien mothership. But now you have this feeling that can be now incorporated into this new idea that feels really unrelated and disconnected, but we can still make it work with the feeling. So maybe in response to this third person coming in with a rather unrelated, disconnected idea, you can use the feeling to find your way into this new idea that feels like it's walking over your idea. And that could be through your feelings. So you might say in reaction, heck no, man, I'm not working with this jerk. I'll let the whole planet go up in flames before I do that. And now we've kind of embraced this new unrelated idea, and the way we were able to do it seamlessly is because we have a feeling. We're using that feeling of negativity towards each other, this like sibling rivalry, and we're now channeling that into this new idea. And it maybe is kind of like a discovery of like, oh, these two people are not just brothers playing baseball, but they're, in charge of the Earth Defense Force. And that's an interesting discovery, and it was more easier to attach yourself to a more unrelated idea because you had that specific feeling. And this third idea that we feel like is unrelated and almost like it's destroying our scene can still work in a bunch of different scenes as long as the feeling is strong. Maybe there's a scene between two people and they're like lovers, they're having a picnic, they're drinking wine, and they're reciting poetry to each other. The feeling in relationship is defined. And then a third person comes in and says, hey, we're ready, we have the launch codes, we're ready to take down the alien mothership. And then maybe the two lovers look at each other and they say, oh, sweetheart, wouldn't it be so romantic if we push the button together? Oh, sweetheart, you're so aggressive, I love it. And that is now incorporating in an unrelated idea easily because the feeling was strong. So in conclusion, in improv, you will be thrown curveballs a lot. It happens a lot, all the time. It's happened to me, and heck, I've thrown curveballs as well. You might be doing a really fun scene, you're like, wow, this is great, I'm having a really fun time, I got good rapport with my partner right now, this is great. And then somebody comes in and you feel like they kind of flatline the scene because they came in with an idea that wasn't necessarily complementing your idea. But just remember, we can still make those ideas work. If we treat that idea as like, that's a mistake, you failed our scene, well, we are taught to incorporate the stumble into the dance and incorporate those into your scene and embrace those mistakes. So if you have a strong feeling between you and your partner and somebody comes in with an idea that maybe clashes at first. You think it clashes. Play to the feeling between you two. Let that offer affect how you both feel towards each other, and you can discover interesting potential, interesting ideas that you would not have thought of before because you embrace the idea that you may have deemed as a mistake, but think of it as an opportunity. And that concludes this episode of MUT Tips, everybody. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really appreciate it. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time for another episode of MUT Tips. Bye!